Hey there. One of the biggest mistakes novice qualitative researchers make is not taking field notes, but instead trying to just write down everything they hear the participants say so that they can go back and analyze it later. It's a pretty big mistake. You'd be missing field notes. Even if you record your interviews, if you don't take a transcript of those recordings, then you don't have enough data points to really get an impression. And also, if you're missing field notes, you haven't recorded the emotion or the posture or the affect of the person that you're interviewing. And so when you're missing that, you have an incomplete project. So here's an analogy that might help you think about what field notes are: a jury trial. Various people in a courtroom take notes for different purposes. So let's walk through that. The judge in this jury trial, in this case, is charged with keeping everything running smoothly. So he or she may make notes related to the process of the case. They also might make notes of key things that happen during the trial that might affect what they would do in sentencing the defendant if he or she is found guilty. So they're taking notes, but they're also just kind of master of ceremonies, keeping the court case on track. There's a person called a stenographer, and that's an officer or person in the court who is charged with taking a transcript, of writing everything down in real time as it happens. The stenographer is not a decider in the case. They're not a participant in the case. They have an administrative function, so they don't need to record anything that they observe. It's just what they hear people say. The prosecutor and defendant's attorney will take notes to help them in their interview and cross examination. So, those notes will help them in real time. They're very high level notes that are specific to key information that they want to bring up in the case. And then we have the jury. And you, my dear researcher, are a member of the jury. So, what's your job? Your job is to watch, listen, and take notes, not write down everything you hear someone say. Because if you're writing down everything that's said, you're going to miss key observations, like the body language of the defendant when he said, I didn't do it. The stenographer will write down, I didn't do it. You'll write down, he turned purple and sat up in the witness box and declared he didn't do it. So the emotion is going to be really key in that case. And it's important that you look at it, you watch it, and then you write a note to help yourself remember. Those are the kinds of notes that you need to take. So then what happens? You, as the jury, go into the jury room and pool together all of the resources you have to do the analysis and synthesis for your project. So it's really tempting, once all your data are collected in qualitative research, to jump right to synthesis and say, let me just, okay, he's guilty or he's innocent. And you really don't want to do that. You want to look at your field notes. You do want to transcribe your recordings, or if you don't have the wherewithal to transcribe it and aren't required to, you can listen to the recordings to extract quotes. That's where it's really key. And any aspects of the emotion that you might have missed when you were observing from your position in the jury gallery or box, I guess it's called jury box. So, as you're pulling all that information together, the jury is looking at areas where the data come together and show something really obvious. There might be some disagreement about points that didn't quite come together that require more explanation and more exploration, and even going back and looking at exhibits. But all that comes together to write your paper. So, when you get to the point you're going to write your paper, you have your notes, you have your observations. And you also have your recordings and your transcripts. And you'll refer to all of that to extract information and to reveal patterns in your research. So it's not just what was said, but how it was said and what the meaning behind it is. So, if you do all of that, the actual writing of your paper will be relatively easy because you will have done your research and done it thoroughly. And then you'll be happy, your advisor will be happy because you've been thorough in your analysis. And when you go through that process, even when you get frustrated and when you get annoyed, you're going to learn a lot about your topic and you'll be the expert. So, hopefully, this helps you think about how you would take field notes, the importance of field notes, and how those will help you have a successful project. Happy researching.